Hi all, it's the cockle. Making up for last week, I did record something and I played it back and went, ooh, don't know if I should share that at the moment. It, as you know, I do these off the cuff with an idea of a theme in mind, but it doesn't always end up that way. So, um, yeah, last week's ended up delving into some areas that I probably need to investigate privately, just with personal growth. But this week, I thought I would talk about um, things that I've been watching, um, particularly on YouTube, um, and also reading on Twitter. I've been probably in invested in Twitter a bit more since January 6th, since what happened in in the US at the Capitol. Um, and so I've been watching a lot of the different news networks across there, and listening to the people discussing what they thought, people delving into it, though, listening to all kinds of voices and also reading all kinds of different things on Twitter. And I've been mixing that with different YouTube videos like top 10 lists from What Culture and Watch Mojo and Who Culture. Yes, because there has to be some Doctor Who in there. And, like, yeah, some of it's quite funny and it's just learning some of the current trends and jokes and words of the time and everything. And it's just, yeah, it's interesting to listen, because I mainly just listen while I do other things. Um, and I listen to multiple voices on, single topics and so forth, and, just to get a better, more rounded opinion on things. Um, and also about one of the things that has struck me, um, and it's like there's a quote that's used by 12-step programs there, but for the grace of God, that's used. Sorry, Kaz is on the mouse. Um, and it's really been like that for us here in Australia. I'm just grateful that we have taken such strict choices with quarantining and so forth. When you look at, the UK's now hit 100,000 dead from COVID. The US is over 400,000. Um, and not diminishing the value of every life that has been lost. But we are damn lucky for what's happened. So that's just one of the things that I've found this week. Another thing is Australia Day, and it's really interesting because Australia Day used to be a really important day for me growing up. Um, I mean, like back in the day when we always had a long weekend, so it was always about um, going away for 3 days. It was just awesome. But the older I've got and the more I take time to listen to different voices about what is Australia Day, and it is Invasion Day for so many. Um, and it sort of goes, well, maybe this should be our fasting day or something, and then have a different day for Australia Day. Um, I think it's better to be rounded with it. I know, like, people talk about the Federation Day, because that's New Year's Day. Um, Maybe just make that an extra long time, an extra day there. Like, it's not much difference. Australia Day was also the day that I got married back in 1997. Um, and yes, 24 years ago. But that's long since been a different day as well. So I think what I've learnt by all of this is how important it is to really look into things, going back to the topic of COVID. Now, as a type 2 diabetic, I shall be, I'm sort of high on the list for getting a vaccine, and I will be getting one as soon as possible. I'm usually cynical about these. I've always been told that as a type 2 diabetic, I should get the flu vax every year. I never have. But the older I get, I think it's the more important it is that I take preventative medicine. I'm already on enough meds. I don't need to be taking any more. So having a flu vax would be, having a COVID vaccine would be very high on my list of priorities, along with everything else. So like it's been really good. I've been catching up with a friend for our weekly movie nights. We've been having extra ones of recent because we've been indulging in watching things like Bridgerton and Sanditon, and which has been really, really good. And then this coming Monday, which is the 1st, shall be my first day of uni, where starting my Bachelor of Music Production, Bachelor of Arts Music Production. I think that's what it's called. It's something like that, but I start Monday at Collarts, which is in Melbourne, and I do it online. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm excited and terrified at the same time with what's going to be happening. So if you see my hands moving around, the cats have decided now's a really good time to come and talk to me. But yeah, I just wanted to show a lighter side, encourage you to look into things properly. Don't just go to your normal select sources and resources. Go dig wider, look into it so much further. I've really found that quite important. In fact, there's just been a few different things. Like the other thing, there's a couple other things that have really struck me this week. Weird as it sounds, the word normality. I'm over people saying normalcy because it's not a word. Unless it's been added to the Oxford in the last few years, but the actual word is normality. So if I can find opportunities to use the word, I'm using the word. That's one thing. The other thing is, because I'm catching up on RuPaul, UK and US at the moment, the importance of inclusive language. I struggled with it for when I first was introduced to inclusive, using terms like they as a pronoun instead of he or she. Because, grew up old school and they is a plural pronoun, but now it's, it's working out what's worth embracing and what's worth standing against, and like seriously, if using terms like they and them is supporting other people, then that's what I want to do. Very supportive, very ally oriented towards the LGBTQIA plus community and everything they mean. But I'm waffling. I've covered so many different topics tonight, but the bottom line with all of it is the more I learn, and that's what it is. the more I learn about different areas, and it means the more I understand and can appreciate and respect other thoughts. So yeah, that's what I encourage each and every one of you to do. And have a good time. No, have a good weekend, whatever it is you're up to. Hopefully got karaoke again tomorrow night. I tried live streaming last week from karaoke and didn't quite work because I talked too softly there, surprisingly. But might try again tomorrow night, see how we go. Otherwise, I'll be on my Grahame music page and streaming from there, perhaps. We'll see how we go. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.